Good morning, everyone. Aloha. Aloha, Cisco. What's going on? How you doing? Hey, Mother Truck. How are you? Hey, Nate. Hey, Jirash. What's going on? Hey, Tim. Heyo. Oh boy. Well, I was kind of looking for a backfill in the overnight, and we couldn't get underneath the close. So overnight inventory is about 98% long, and doesn't really want to correct. I'm sure it will later on. Ugh. So, hey, Swen. How you doing? Yeah, so the way we look at this is we look at yesterday's close, and then we look at the trading is above yesterday's close, so we say overnight inventory is long. What that means is we're looking for a correction lower. If the trading was underneath the close, we'd look for a move up because overnight inventory would be short. Pretty simple, right? So yesterday we had some pretty crazy structure in this thing. Uh, Nothing like a short squeeze to start a new quarter. We've got obvious short positions are here and here. Hey Jerry, how you doing? Hey Johnny, what's up? Let's see, where's the other single prints? Just two sets of singles? One, two. So we have two obvious short positions. And then if we look at this profile, poor low, right at certain areas, that's where the shorts are trapped going into the end of the day underneath 54. So the bid is here, right? So far. Yes, you should look at metals. I don't, but I've got a GC chart somewhere here. Where the hell is it? You're gonna get me all off course now, AO. Where is GC? Ah, here we go. Yeah, 38.96 gold. I don't trade any of this stuff. I don't trade gold. I just trade ES. I have a fairly simple life. I only trade one instrument. Um, I think it's great if you trade more than one. If you do it successfully, if you do it poorly, then I suggest you just go to one. That's my whole thing with trading. Well, you know what? What I'd rather do than trade gold, I'd rather grab a shell, find a piece of moose pasture in northern Canada, go drill for gold. You make a lot more money than selling gold stock than trading gold, right? Get yourself 400 million shares. Take the stock from $3 up to 5, back it down to 3, take it to 7, back it down to 4, take it to 12, right? Go make yourself 3, 4, 500 million bucks, done for the day, right? I'd rather do that. I trade ES because it's good income, and I've gotten to a point where it's not stressful for me to trade it. If I want stress, I'll go do a deal. Because then you get paid for your stress, right? What's the point of getting stressed out for 50 bucks, right? Or $500? You want to get, if you want stress, you want to be like, You want to be compensated for your stress. Think about it that way, right? I love trading. It's great. But you want to make serious money, do deals, all right? That way you're always the seller. You always have the lowest cost basis. Remember, folks, he who has the lowest cost basis has already won. And if you have a cost basis of 0.001 cent and you're selling stock even at 10 cents, you're winning. Just like Charlie Sheen. All right, I've got a 65 quarter to 70 quarter balance zone. All right, there's a distribution balance, of course. Now we're correcting inventory a little lower. Right. Yeah, I don't trade NQ. I don't trade. But I think it's great that people do if you're profitable. If you're not profitable, I don't think it's great. Learn how to trade one market. Yes, the balance zones have gotten bigger. I was hoping somebody would comment on that, and you did. Now, why are the balance zones a little bigger? Bigger ranges, and we kind of broke this thing free a little bit. Right? We broke it free where, you know, new quarter. Let's go find out where we're going to do business tonight, my friends. Poor high, poor low. So we're just bouncing between that 56 and 72 back and forth. Let's see where this inventory, we're correcting inventory now, right? Inventory's long, it's correcting lower, you should be short. Go with the short. Don't go trying to buy the dip now, right? Remember, market awareness. Inventory is long. Where's the position? It's above us. Are we in distribution? Yes. Right? I haven't even set VWAP. Thanks for reminding me about VWAP there, but here. Anchor VWAP. Yep. Sitting on VWAP. So we're all ready to trade. So, like Otis Redding, we are sitting at VWAP. Sitting at the dock. Okay, let me get rid of these. I got to get rid of these standard deviations and just run VWAP by itself. So we're leaking lower. Now, if we can, let's try a 5 quarters the level. So if you're short, right, and you're looking, now there's going to be, what did I forget? Where's Raj? Oh, he must be in the car. There's a little set. Hey, AZS, what's going on? Of single prints here. There's a little short position here at 62. So look for bids when we come down to 62. Right? We're underneath VWAP now. So we should get a little bit of liquidation. Watching the bid float away. Exactly, Cisco. Somebody seems to be a buyer at four half. It's right. Yesterday's point of control did move up at the end of the day. We had some short covering again. Right. So if you're shorting underneath VWAP, I would put my stop at the top of that candle. And because the sellers are there. If your sellers go bye-bye, see right there at 55 and 3/4? If I was short now, that's what my stop would be, right? Because once it re-enters the blue zone, it's back in cost basis. See, there's a seller there. I'm going to make this big so you guys can look. It's slow, so you might as well learn something, right? Yeah. So you're right to where the sellers are. See, there's the lift. Let's see if we get a print at 66. Yep. No sense being short. No sense being short. That the selling in this market, man, it does not last long. It really does not last long. It took 5 minutes to clean it up. Yeah, I know everyone. It's funny, AO. Every time any kind of instrument hits an all-time high, everyone just goes crazy. You should see how many people are trading gold now. Oh, you should trade gold. Uh, Godspeed. It did, but here, it did. So now, but here, where did I go wrong? Well, first of all, I was short biased, right? I was short biased. So as I was looking to short underneath 65. So the concept of a look below and fail did not even enter my mind because I thought, you know why, right? That's true, AO. The reason is I thought, okay, we've got hours of inventory above us. We should get some selling. But at 64 and a half, somebody started to load the boat. So the market makers started to pull the offers. So I shorted and got stopped out. Then I flipped long. Now I don't usually flip long, but I can see that there's a bid there. Boom, 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 boom. So I grabbed a few at 66, and I'm selling them at 68 and a quarter. And I learned a lesson. I was looking for a correction. I was short biased, right? Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry, Howard. I'm a little behind. I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning and I'm just a little offside this morning. So, learn from my mistakes, right? Just like I did, right? Took the short, now didn't work, right? Soon as it got over VWAP, scratch, right? And then I flipped to the long, right? So now I know there's a bid at 64, right? And the shorts are trapped. The shorts are trapped a lot worse than I thought. I thought we'd come down to 62, but they front ran the 62 and they went to 64 and bid. I don't know, man. You know what? Last night I just did not sleep well. I don't know. It's weird. I usually sleep okay. I just got up really early. Could be that seagull that keeps trying to wake me up. So that was a look below and fail, but it took me a little while to clue in. But here, and that's going to happen in trading, right? Now, the only redeeming thing I did there was I admitted I was wrong quickly. We did hit yesterday's block to the tick. Thank you for pointing that out, Lonnie. Right. One thing that has saved me in this business is admitting I'm wrong quickly. And that's not only with trading, that's also with dealing with clients. When you screw up, just tear off the bandage, admit you're wrong, take the beating, and move on. It helps. In trading, you are going to be wrong a lot. In finance, you will be wrong. Right? People get it wrong. The faster you admit that you're wrong, the quicker you can do damage control. Right? The faster you can do some damage control and get out. Okay, so now we've got a seller. Dun, dun, dun. Sellers are at 68 quarter. The bid 64 quarter. 64 half, sorry. Let's see if we just bounce around now. A little bounce off VWAP. Honestly, yesterday I thought we'd see a little liquidation. But you know what happened, Cisco? Yesterday is proof again that when you take this thing sideways long enough, it attracts buyers. And it was also the first of the month, so, you know, some new money coming into the market, but I had no idea that it was going to do what it did. What's up, Raj? There you are. News. Yes, yes. The news got a lot of people upside down. Everybody was thinking that we were going to have a market crash because of the government shutdown. Where is it? What country is it in Europe that hasn't had a government for years? Or hasn't had. Somebody told me it was Belgium, but I could be wrong. I shouldn't. Who was it? I can't remember. I'm sure there'll be macro consequences, but apparently last time we did this in 2018, the market went up. The thing is, the companies that own all the stock, the big positions, they have trillions of dollars, so they're not going to get margined out. You know, like what does BlackRock own Apple at? Where is Apple trading now? Two. Where's Crab Apple? 255. Well, BlackRock owns Apple down here at $40 a share. So they're in, you know, they don't have to worry about it. Just hold on, take it easy, right? Is it Belgium? Right? Life goes on. Those trillion-dollar money managers, their time frame to hold an investment is 3 to 4 decades. A government shutdown that lasts a month or two is a blip, right? A president is a blip. 4 years is nothing when it compares to 4 or 5 decades, right? And if you've done any kind of an analysis of the market, and I don't know why the people on CNBC don't just come out and say that the large stock positions in all the Mag 7 are warehoused, right? Which means that stock's got so much dust on it, it ain't going anywhere, right? You know, it's not going anywhere. They don't need to sell it. Not unless Apple comes out one day and says, you know what? We're not making electronics anymore. We are going to, I don't know, we're going to make peanut brittle, right? So we're changing our business. We're going to make peanut brittle, no more electronics. Now that's a material change. That's a big material change. It's going to affect earnings, and people will start dumping the stock, right? And even then, they're going to have a hard time dumping the stock because the thing only trades 40 to 60 million shares a day, and there's 16 billion shares in the float. Good luck. And if you had 900 million shares of Apple, you're not going to get rid of it in one day, especially in a panic. So they can't sell. You've heard of too big to fail? There's too big to sell. How do I know this? Because the goal of every stock promoter is to get an investor or get a bank to buy so much stock that they're the fulcrum of the market. So if they start coming out of the stock, they're going to lose so much money that you have to do something absolutely egregious for them to come out of your stock, right? Like, what was the deal? CanWest Petroleum. The promoter got Bank of Montreal so long that they couldn't sell. And they would just hold the stock up while he retailed it out. He made like $300-400 million on that deal, right? Market structure is something that you guys need to learn and understand, especially if you're investing, if you're swing trading, right? Not only is market structure important, but stock location. Where is the stock located? Who bought it, right? Who bought the stock and how do they do business? If they're a bang bang fund like H.C. Wainwright, okay, it's going to be a pump and dump. But if BlackRock took down a block, BlackRock doesn't trade in and out of stocks. They manage money. It's a completely different business. Learn the difference between toxic financing and taking down a block for investment. All of these things we will be teaching in the room. So this is what I've got planned for this quarter for you guys. Because trading ES is great, but people want to learn how to invest. How do you invest in a practical manner? How do you swing trade in a practical manner? Right? What's really important out of all the information that you should be looking at? What should you zero in on? Right? What's important to actually make you money or keep you from losing money? We just can't seem to get under 65 tonight, can we? Let's see what happens when London opens. Yeah, the video I posted yesterday, and Steve took it and threw it on Twitter. So it's on Twitter now too. But what it does is it explains why markets hit new highs, right? Are my cost basis off the 1 minute time frame? They are, Rosemark. They are indeed. The chart on the left-hand side, the 1 minute candle chart that you're seeing, is a 1 minute chart. And it's showing that business is really slow. It's really slow. I have a method, Rosemark. I do a 5-step thing every morning. First, I go and I look at a longer time frame chart, see where inventory is long or short. Then I go and I mark off where the single prints are, the stops on the TPO chart. Then I go and do the balance zones. I do the same thing every morning, right? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. See, the thing is, the beauty of this, Rosemark, is you don't have to argue, right? My method of trading is simple, right? Whether it's a distribution balance or an accumulation balance, right? It doesn't matter. You know why? Because it's the same product. It's not like in the morning we're selling tires and in the afternoon we're running a hair salon, right? All we're doing is grabbing some ES, selling it, putting it on sale, bringing more suckers in, lifting the price. It's all the same product, right? That's why the balance zones work. That's why I have balance zones that are 5 years old that pretty much work to the tick on longer time frame trades, right? Because the product never changes. If London is slow, do you want to talk about government insider trading? Sure, we can. They don't know what my face looks like, so, you know. But if I disappear tomorrow, then you know, Mike. uh, government insider trading, I just make fun of it because they're never going to change that, right? I mean, let's get real. Insider trading still goes on. Just nobody talks about it anymore. It's not sexy. It was sexy in the 80s. Now it's just the way business is done. Right? Listen, if you're my prime broker and I'm paying you $25 million in commissions this year, you better get me some bloody information. Right? I need some of those. I need some of those, phone calls where they say NVIDIA beat earnings. Click. Hey, Doc, let's see what we do. Let's see if London had their tea. Hopefully they had Yorkshire tea, right? That's a thing here. They get very upset if you don't give them Yorkshire tea. I still don't know what the difference is, but they're pretty into it. Let's go test that 54 half bid. I mean 64 half bid. There it is. And if we can get underneath 64, those single prints at 62 need to be filled. Right to the point of control again. If you are short the London Open, try putting a bid at 63 and a quarter or 63 half. Come on. Come on. Got one more stop at 63 and 3/4. London always likes to get some cheap inventory. Nope. No reason to sell under 63 and 3/4. Could not take the ELO. Rotation right back up to the overnight point of control. Look below and fail of 65 1/4 again. You should get. Let's see if we can clear that seller at 66 3/4. We got one more tick and come on. Come on, one way or another, do something. It's a new month. Show some grit. Come on now. There we go. So if you're long 65 1/4, 66, you probably want to get out here. If it can't take out that 68, not the greatest trade. Little bit of, there's a few ticks. This is what I hate about short squeezes. I love performing short squeezes. I hate trading them as a retail trader because the price action is so sticky. Too fast for your taste, Jerry? Not enough coffee there? If we could clear the sellers at 68 1/4, then we're looking at 70, which is the top of balance. But if you notice here, check this out, folks. There's been a seller here before 70 1/4. So it's really plugged up here. It's clogged up. It's not much order flow, which means it's basically a slow night in Walmart. There's 68 1/4. Got a couple of points. Here we go. I got to do some more levels because the top of my very, very old big balance zone is 67.88 3/4. And then, oh, God. Yeah, it's, I got to go fill these in. Hopefully we get some liquidation today. Would be nice. Ooh. 68 1/4 seller is still there. Hanging around like a bad cold. Creeping. Creeping up. Previous day high. We've got stops at 70 1/4 and 70 1/2 right here. Ooh, excitement. Now, can we take this poor high? Right, the sellers were competing there earlier. See you, Tim. Have a good one. So it seems fairly typical now that take a couple of scalps during this London session like I did and then wait for better trades. Man, this week went fast too, didn't it? It went real quick. Yeah, and right back down. We just got a little rotation going here, folks. And you're welcome to trade it, but don't expect much follow through yet. Right? Just boom, 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 boom. And what happens? Why do markets do this? It's when business is slow. Right? Simple. Right? When business is slow, markets rotate. Right? Wholesalers buy the bottom, sell the top. Right? So they're always moving inventory, right? Waiting for better order flow. Hey, Monica, efficient distribution. Indeed it is. Another slow night in Walmart, folks. Let's see if we can get out of that 70 zone. Come on, ES. Let's go. It's a new month, new quarter. Get to work. It's like watching paint peel. Okay, anybody have any questions? Give it another few minutes and then we'll shut her down if it's too boring. Go look at the larger deals here. Apple seems to be stuck under 261. See if Microsoft can. Microsoft over 511. That's good. Next level on Microsoft is that 523 area. Be looking for sellers there. Let's see how Intel's doing. Still holding after that. That's where they did their That's where Nvidia did their securities purchase agreement at 23.28. Price is holding nicely. Nvidia getting over 186. That's interesting. Do I have a bias today? No, Monica. At all-time highs, I just let the order flow tell me what's going to happen. And that's what I like about scalping. I can just scalp around until the thing gives me direction. I'm not much of a directional trader, right? I'm not one of those people who goes, you know what? I'm shorting and I'm going to cover 30 points lower. That's not how I trade. I just find it too mentally taxing and stressful. So I like to scalp in 3 points, 3 points, in, out, do it a couple of times, 5 to 10 contracts, I'm done. That's how I like trading. Now, common sense says we should see some liquidation. Structure tells me right now we're not seeing any. In short squeezes, why does the price end up higher than where the short sold? Because they have to go buy it back. So if you short something at 5, I got a bid at 5 now, right? So if you've got a bid, if you go and short 100,000 shares Rosemark at $5 on a stock, now I've got a buyer for 100,000 shares at 5. So I'm going to go bid 520. What are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? Now you're trapped. Right? Because any deal person should know where their stock is. Right? So I know you shorted 100,000 shares. I'm going to go at 5. I'm going to go put in a bid at 5.25, and I'm going to show 1,000,000 shares. And that's going to attract a lot of buyers. And that's how order books are manipulated, by the way. And then all the suckers will come in, and I'll be able to raise the price of the stock to 6, 7, 8. And if you go to buy it back at 6, I'll move the price to 620. If you go try and buy it back at 620, I'm going to move the price to 650. Do you see how that works? I got you. Once you're cornered, I own you. How are you gonna cover 100,000 shares immediately? You're not. See, you're thinking like a retail trader. You got to think size, brother. Hey, look, Tesla hit that 462. 462.29. I was at 89 on my level. Not bad. Old Muscosaurus at it again. Do you understand the concept of size, Rosemark? It's not 500 shares. You're not going to be able to cover 100,000 shares immediately because I control the supply. You get it? Does that make any sense? What I'd love to do is I'd love to build out a VR trading software that teaches you guys what it's like to trade size. Because I'm firmly convinced if I put you on a trade desk, then you would actually understand the business. Because you guys have no idea what it's like to trade size, right? And when you're short size, oh my God, trying to cover size? Oh, that is a painful enterprise, right? It's one thing to cover 500 shares, 100 shares, 50 shares of a stock. Go try and cover 100,000 shares of stock in a market where the supply is controlled. You are going to get owned. And that, my friends, is how short squeezes work. Right? Well, I was the Raymond Reddington of the OTCBB. I was a bit of a concierge, right? Whatever you needed, come to JJ. I'll hook you up. There you go, Johnny. A lot of people too will get stuck in bad short positions, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying this because they have a securities analyst that tells them to start a short position. Sorry. And the analysts, generally analysts cannot trade their way out of a wet paper bag. So they come up with these bright ideas, and the portfolio managers tell the traders to do it, you know, and next thing you know, everybody's trapped, right? See, nobody looks at market structure, and I'm the only one who talks about structure, float, who owns the stock. You got to look at who owns the stock. Because if you don't, you, as our traders would say, you picked the wrong banana to peel, buddy. You don't want to pick the wrong banana to peel. Get yourself in trouble real fast. Oh. Alrighty, folks. Any other questions? I think I finished the book, Cisco. It needs an editor. It needs an editor in a big way. So, if anybody knows anyone who knows how to edit books, let me know. Ugh. Hopefully, by the time I get it out, people will still want to read it. You have English degrees? Okay, cool. Alrighty. Okay, folks. I am gonna let you guys go a little early. Go and enjoy your morning. This is a look above and fail of 70, but dear God, I did not take that trade. Have a good one, folks. We will see you at 9:30 Eastern Time. Trade safe out there, okay? Be smart. Be smart. Go have a coffee. Wait for better price action. That's the smart trade here, right? Smart trade is just relax, go have a coffee, go to the gym, do normal human being stuff. Thanks, Monica. And come join us at the Trading Syndicate. We've got a lot of stuff coming this quarter, which will help you in a practical manner, I promise. Have a great morning. Mother Truck, check your DM, and we will see you later on, folks. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.